restorative practice is, I guess, a set of practices that developed from a thing called restorative justice that first kind of came up in Canada in the 1970s, and the idea was about bringing perpetrators of crime together with the victims to try and build empathy between the different people involved and find maybe more community-based solutions to problems. This system of bringing people together actually had a huge impact on people, on recurrence of crime. So initially restorative justice really was about addressing harm, and then what was added to it was these ideas of how to develop and maintain and build good, strong relationships. So all of those things kind of pieced together are what we now call restorative practices. And the idea is that you make an observation without evaluating, you make I statements about your own feelings, you connect them to your needs, and then you make a doable request. So I was driving in the car with my mother an hour after I had this first training, and just such a long source of conflict over a really long period of time, where I acted in some ways that I'm not proud of, and she acted in some ways that I'm sure she's not proud of either, but there was always a fight. And so she was sitting next to me in the car, and the same kind of dynamic that usually would develop began. She doesn't wear her glasses, and so she doesn't usually see pedestrians until very late, even though I've already spotted them, and so she was commenting on my driving. And so I took a deep breath, which I was proud of myself for doing even in that moment. What did I say? When you tell me how to drive my car, I feel annoyed and I feel hurt, because my need for autonomy when I'm driving my own car is not being met. And in the future, I would like for you to allow me to drive the car if I'm driving. And what I'll do is I will try as best as I can to drive in a way that's safe and comfortable for both of us. And she just nodded. And I couldn't possibly, I was I'd just done the training, and I was I'll just do it. It probably won't work, but I guess I'll just throw it out there. It's in the homework, so I'll give it a go. And I couldn't believe it. So from that moment on, I was an absolute convert. Not as much as I would like, if I'm going to be honest about it. I endeavour to do this as much as I can, and sometimes I really manage it. Sometimes I manage to be calm, sometimes I manage to remember that these are the principles that I want to live by. Other times it goes out the window altogether. People do have these really life-changing experiences, but particularly if you engage with a young person who hasn't been engaged with in this way before, you can see this look in their eyes when you are honest with them. You describe the emotions that you felt in a situation where what they're expecting, I guess, is a conflict between you, an authoritative person, and them, a person who's under that authority, where there's this unequal power dynamic and a disconnect. And when you engage with them with this kind of honesty and openness, you can see the look in their eyes of confusion to begin with, and just the interaction that you have is just so different to what I experienced in the first 7 years of my teaching before I started to use this.